What makes a good pulling ox?
Well, the old fellows always said a willing animal made a good pulling ox. They didn't care size, shape, breed. If he was willing to work, he was a good one. And you know, today we look for frame and
what's the
body type.
What's a normal breed for pulling, like today?
Today, Kiania really in competition.
And because of what reason?
Legs. They're tall, they're athletic. You know, the Romans bred them for a reason, you know, to work.
Now they come from Italy originally,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Okay. And back in like the 60s, what was the breed for pulling then?
You know, most, you know, by far Shorthorns, Durham cattle, or Holstein Hereford crosses were quite popular.
Yeah. So basically what happened is over time, the cattle got bigger.
Yeah.
And they grow fast, quick. So what's the average age that they start pulling?
Well, you know, my granddaughter starts working our cattle when they're a few months old, and pulls a little car tire or something, nothing, just to work with them. But when, you know, competition-wise, you know, we're looking at 2, I would say, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You know, 2.
And when do they grow? When do they reach maximum growth, roughly? What age? For a pair of Kianias, we'll say.
You know, 7, 8, although they tend to put on weight their whole life, but they're probably done framing, growing tall, and you know, they've got their skeleton. They put on weight for a long time.
Just like a human. Now it goes. Steve's going to explain the yoke. A lot of people don't understand the yoke. He's going to explain what it's made out of and the bows and what that device in the middle represents.
The yoke is made out of hardwood. Yellow birch by far the most popular, but almost any hardwood works for a yoke. This is called the staple, this whole piece. This is adjustable, so you can slide it one way or the other to give one ox more weight if he's bigger or heavier. This also moves forward and back. That controls how much this tips back. You don't want this sliding up on their shoulder, on the bone of their shoulder. You want them pushing with the neck muscle. They can pull without these bows. The only thing the bows do is keep the yoke in place. They do all their pushing up here. These are shoes, ox shoes. The ox has a cloven foot, 2 claws, and so 2 shoes. These are used to protect their feet and give them traction. These lugs cut into the dirt and give them traction. We trim feet about every 6 weeks to keep their feet in good shape. And if we're shoeing, we reset the shoes about every 4 to 6 weeks. This is a shoeing nail. It goes through here. The outside of the hoof is just like your fingernail. There's no feel. So it just goes up in, clinches over, and hopefully it stays on. Not always.
In addition to that, there's a lot of people who like the looks of their horns, such as that off one right there. See how his horns come down even? They can use these horn weights when they're young to actually weight a horn, and it will actually pull it down around and make them come. And next, I'd like to talk about the feed of these animals. It's a fairly expensive thing. When you think that each one of these oxen get 10 quarts of grain twice a day, along with hay and all the water that they want. It's a good thing. They get treated well. They get a lot of feed.
You have to pamper them. If you want to be successful at this, they've got to be pampered.